Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Taisho Ellis. Yay! And we're still in Cinderella's route, so I'm not sure. We could be like halfway through at this point. I'm not 100% sure because there's not really any chapters, so it's not like you can say, oh, I'm on chapter 6 and I know there's 10 chapters or anything like that. And all I have going for me knowledge-wise is someone saying it's about 5 to 6 hours in their rounds, but we do pause and like maybe that's 5 hours. Click. You know what I mean? Like could be 7 hours. It could be longer. I don't know. So we've played about 3 hours in his route, so we could be halfway through. We don't know. We haven't gotten a lot of choices, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how many choices there are. I don't know anything. So, but so far so good. I guess. I don't know, and I don't know what the ending situations is like. So I don't know if we have like a good ending, a normal ending. Do we only have a good ending? Do we have bad endings? I don't know. So anyway, I guess we'll figure it out. We're going to keep going. And we were on the next day when something happened. So here we go. Come on in. She walked in just after rush hour when customers had grown scarce. Oh, wow. He's actually trying. Is this his mother? She wore red lipstick and dark blue dress that hugged her curves. A mature older woman so beautiful she could be an actress. A table for one? Yes, obviously. Of course, my apologies. Right this way. Yeah, it's got to be his mom because she sounds kind of bitchy. I turned to show her to a table, but she seized me by the arm. Where's Cinderella? Huh? You work here, right? Where's your boss at? Her tone grew coarse and hostile. Uh-oh, customer complaint incoming. I'm sorry, but the owner's not in at the moment. I'm the manager. I curtsied politely. I don't care who you are. My business is with Cinderella. I'm terribly sorry. Has there been some trouble? If there's anything I can assist you with, I'd be more than happy to... This was my standard textbook response for an angry customer. What? I didn't come here to complain, if that's what you think. You didn't? I looked up at her in surprise. Of course not. I just want to see him, that's all. Whoops. Looks like I got ahead of myself. Oh, are you a friend of his? Obviously. I see. Well, I'm really sorry about this, but he's not at home right now, and I'm not certain when exactly he'll be back. He is coming back, though, right? Eventually, yeah. And then I'll just have to wait until he shows up. You don't mind, do you? Ooh. Without waiting for a response, the woman walked to the dining area and sat herself down at a random table. Crossing her legs, she rested her head in her hands as she stared out the window. It was quite picturesque, actually. All the other customers turned to stare at her. Even I was staring at her. Who's that? Snow White peeked his head out of the kitchen. A friend of Cinderella's, apparently. You wouldn't happen to know where he is, would you, Snow White? No clue. Figured as much. Okay, for now, I'll make her a cup of tea. Could you ask Gretel to make a scone? Are you sure? But she didn't order it. Of course I'm sure. She's a guest here. I shot him a wink. Before I knew it, the sun had set. Thanks for stopping by. Whew! After the last customer was gone, I went back to the dining area. As for Cinderella's lady friend, she was still here. This was no surprise, of course, considering that Cinderella had yet to come home. I grabbed the teapot and walked over to her table. Would you like a refill? She looked up at me lethargically. Her plate and cup were both empty. Clearly she had accepted my token of hospitality. Yes, please. Here you are. This cafe has gotten popular. Congrats. She peered at me as I poured the steaming brown liquid into her cup. Thank you kindly. I feel bad imposing on you on a busy day like today. I feel like she sounds like Cinderella, doesn't she? Whatever. Oh, no problem. Today was actually downright peaceful compared to some other days we've had. Besides, I'm sure we must have benefited from having a pretty lady like you sitting by the window. Free advertising. She shot me a withering look. What is it? At this point, I've lost the will to make a catty comeback. Was it something I said? As far as I was concerned, I was only being honest. The woman paused to take a sip of her tea. Then slowly she turned back to me. Are you seeing Cinderella? As in dating him? What else would I mean? No, we're not dating. He's an infamous womanizer, you know. I didn't know that, actually. Are you sure there's nothing at all between you? Pretty sure. As of now, our relationship is strictly professional, but as of down the road, I'm gonna be his wife, so like, whatever, bitch. I made sure to emphasize the now part. Oh, what do you mean, as of now? So you're interested in him? Of course I am. Extremely interested, in fact. Oh, I see. Interesting. And here you are, working at his cafe. So what exactly led to that? The place only reopened recently, right? Well, long story short, it just sort of happened. It just happened. Why would a misanthrope like Cinderella entrust his cafe to a total stranger like you? Oh, I'm not the only one. His brothers are here too. So he's out screwing around while the rest of you are working. I don't know if he's screwing around per se, but he's definitely not here. What a low-life piece of work. I laughed awkwardly at her. Overly honest evaluation. Whatever. At this point, I'm not leaving until I catch that rat bastard. I realize this might be rude of me, but... What is it? Are you Cinderella's girlfriend by chance? Instantly, her sudden pout transformed into a smug smirk. You really want to know? Dying to. We made a promise to each other. A very special promise. She emphasized the word promise, loading the word with implied meaning. Maybe it was her revenge for my as of now thing. A promise, you say? Unwilling to take her bait, I kept my voice perfectly calm as I spoke, and she scowled. Well, that's a boring response. Come on, it's no fun unless you get a little nervous. Well, I might get a little nervous if you tell me you're his girlfriend. So you have feelings for him, then? You should be more upfront about that. I fell silent. I was just his plaything. We only met recently, you see. Then he invited me to one of his weekly parties, at which point we made a promise. Oh, I see. So why... Uh-oh. Right in the middle of our battle for feminine dominance? Who should come home but Cinderella himself? Here at last, I see. The woman got to her feet. She was sitting in the window. You'd think you would have seen her. Yeah, he wasn't even... Huh? Wait, I know you. Cinderella's eyes widened in shock. Evidently, this woman was no ordinary plaything. She strode up to Cinderella, her high heels clacking rhythmically. She gonna slap Minchie. Oh. She was the woman he promised the ring to. I'll give you the ring. Be with me tonight. I'll meet you someplace. And she's like lounging, waiting naked for him. You know what's really funny? As a playboy, he didn't take the bit. He didn't like go fuck her when he could have. Which, I mean, I guess you gotta give him points for that. You stood me up. Be with me tonight, my ass. I turned out all the other guys to be with you. But after the party, you disappeared. And no matter how long I waited, you never came back. Do you know just how pathetic I felt? I went home alone. Me, of all people. My God, you are pretty much just Cinderella with a vagina. And seized him by the collar. Listen, I was blitzed off my ass that night, so... Cinderella was sweating bullets like she had him at gunpoint. I'm enjoying this. Blitz my ass? You never had any intention of keeping that promise with me, did you? I thought maybe you'd come by to apologize, but no, you never showed up. Instead, you were off opening a cafe with some underage trollop. You pervert. Underage? That's right, you sicko. You looking-glass men are all into your younger women. The younger the better, isn't that right? You're always too lazy to run this cafe. I'll bet you're doing it all for her, aren't you? She turned and pointed at me. Look, there's nothing going on with us. But even if there was, she's not underage. It's too. She's clearly a teenager, Cinderella. Technically, I'm barely legal. I figured I may as well clarify that point. Same difference. You lay one finger on her and I'll tell your mother you're having illicit relations with an 18-year-old. Now look what you've done, dumbass. Sorry. Not sure how this is my fault, but okay. He can't be that much older. It's not like he's 30. But also, prearranged marriage. His mom would be like, so what? She's going to be your wife anyway. I guess it's a good thing. Your mom would be like, what? And she'd be like, oh, wait. Oh, that's perfect. We arranged this marriage. That's great. You're getting along awesome. It makes it so much easier because he was going to bitch about it and it was going to be fucking hard. We'd have to drag him to the altar and like chain him down and like. But if you guys are getting along, that's awesome. It makes less work for us. All I'm saying. She says there's nothing between the two of you, but what about you? I've heard the stories. I've been paying people off to visit the cafe. Oh, you've been paying people off to visit the cafe. I was like, she would. Why? About that. The woman leaned in, and Cinderella flinched. He was well and truly busted. Meanwhile, the woman was getting caught up in the heat of the moment herself. Maybe I should step in. Oh, what a joke. I'll give you the ring. I'll give you everything you could possibly want. You're nothing but a liar. Instantly, the light in Cinderella's eyes darkened. Oh, is that what this is about? In the end, it always comes back to money, doesn't it? Sure, I'll give it to you. Whatever makes you happy. Here, take it and get out. He wrested himself out of her grasp, his voice like icy steel. You disgusting pig! Wait! My body moved on autopilot as she raised her hand. Gah! Sparks flew behind my eyelids. My cheek burned like it was on fire. She slapped me. What? The woman began to tremble as she realized what she'd done. Violence isn't the answer. No matter how angry you get, you need to maintain your composure when you speak to someone. Also, you were after his money, so, like, you really don't have a leg to stand on. I ignored the burning pain and continued to play mediator between them. Alice, you should be ashamed of yourself, hiding behind a little teenager like a coward. Fine. Could you please just leave? We'll talk about it later. And if you still want the ring, I'll give it to you. No, I don't want your gaudy old ring. What? I never knew just how pathetic you really were. I guess with you rich types, what you see is what you get. All looks and no personality. It takes one to know one, I guess. A slut like you only cares about money. They promptly started arguing around me. Oh, for crying out loud. And so what if I am? You were rubbing it in all of our faces. Not that you really had a choice, of course. Your money's the only reason anybody cares about you, you pathetic loser. Both of you calm down! The two of them froze, startled. What's wrong with you? Still can't get sweet fuse out of my head anyway. I won't have you causing a scene in the cafe during business hours. If you want to fight, then take it outside. Cinderella recoiled, his expression stiff. Wait, I'm the owner here. I run this place. You aren't the boss of me. He scowled stubbornly at me. I don't care if you're the owner. I'll throw you out regardless. Thankfully, we don't have any customers at the moment, but if we did, you'd be making a spectacle out of this cafe right now. Am I wrong? I glared fiercely back at him and he turned away, sulking. Ha! All right, fine. I'm done wasting my time with you. I'm going home. The woman stepped back and shrugged her shoulders. Just as I was heaving a sigh of relief at the crisp success of crisis successfully averted. Good. I get out. And nobody asked you to come here in the first place. She scowled bitterly at his caustic remark. That's enough, both of you! Once again, I cut in. The woman looked at me pensively for a moment. Huh! I'll forgive you for standing me up, but only because your little friend here was willing to take your lumps for you. You'd better thank her. Excuse me? Cinderella looked at her dubiously, but she ignored him. Instead, she smiled and tenderly cupped my cheek. I'm sorry. That must have really stung. Oh no, I'm all right. It was my fault for jumping in between you. I don't know what a nice young girl like you is doing in a place like this with a man like him, but maybe you're just the sort of girl who can help him get his act together. That's really sweet of you to say. It won't be easy, but I'll be rooting for you. Oh, and you make a mean cup of tea. Thank you. She smiled faintly, then turned and walked to the door. Suck out mature fucking woman. She's like, you're a fucking asshole. And then she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to snap you. Your tea is great. And like, good luck with that. I'm like, aw, girls being nice to girls, even though they kind of fighting over the same man. Sort of. Fighting with the same man, technically. She was fighting with him and I was standing up for him, but like still. There, she paused one last time. What? Aren't you gonna leave? Huh! I don't want a jerk like you anyway, so there. She turned and stuck her tongue out at Cinderella. Real mature. I can't blame her. I would have done it too. What the hell was that about? I don't know, but she was kind of badass. Like a feisty older sister. Not to me. To me, she was a textbook case of hysteria. Don't be sexist, Cinderella. It was partly your fault for pissing her off anyway. As a fellow woman, I felt it was my duty to stand up for her. What are you doing, Booger? You're just like walking all over the place. I hear your chippy toes tapping on my desk. Clickety, click, 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 click. I thought for sure he'd snap at me over calling him sexist, but instead he looked away regretfully. Yeah, you're right. It was my fault. He reached out and touched my cheek. Oh my god. Huh? Your cheek's all red and swollen. Well, duh, she did slap me in the face. I wouldn't have been surprised if she'd left a handprint. Just then, Snow White walked out of the kitchen, ice pack and washcloth in hand. Here. Thanks. Cinderella took the ice pack and pressed it directly against my face. Gah! As I flinched at the sudden chill, he grabbed my arm. Hi, Booger, you're so cute. You snuggles? Oh, you still got some messed up feathers. I was gonna pet you. It's gonna be nice. You want me to be nice? I won't be nice. I'll beat you. I beat you. I'm not gonna beat you. I don't beat the birdie. We don't beat the birdie. We yell at the birdie when you're making obnoxious noises and being a brat, but otherwise we love the birdie. Hold still now. The cold will keep the swelling down. Thank you. It does feel nice. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for worrying about me. Good grief. You really need to think these things through. What do you mean? Oh, what if it leaves a permanent scar? It won't. It was just a measly slap after all. The swelling probably makes it look worse than it is. Has anyone ever hit you before? No, that was definitely a first. I thought as much. Look, I'm really sorry. It's my fault you got hurt. What? No, it's not your fault. Is there anything I can buy to make it up to you? I know it's not much in the way of an apology, but I'll get you whatever you want. Does this attempt to buy your forgiveness make you angry? Oh! Oh my god, for a second, I would have been like, yes or no, let him buy you something. Does this attempt to buy your forgiveness make you angry? I would say yes, because no, you don't buy people's forgiveness, goddammit. You don't have to buy people's affections, people's forgiveness, people's, like anything. Yeah! I karate chopped him in the head. Ouch! What the? He stared back at me in shock. Don't be rude! I didn't do it so I could get free stuff out of you. All I want from you is a sincere apology. I'm really sorry. There we go. I forgive you. I ruffled his hair affectionately. Oh, wait. Didn't you just get done telling me violence isn't the answer? Karate chops don't count. What kind of logic is that? Pfft. What are you, 5? Gretel snickered. Truth be told, I hadn't even realized he was standing there. Lay off. Just when I thought I'd heard some sort of commotion, I find some random woman slapping our Alice, and now there's the shock. What terrible misfortune have you been cursed with this time? Evidently, he'd been watching the whole thing. That said, perhaps I shouldn't have been surprised. If anything, I'd say she walked right into it herself. It was a perfectly valid observation. You know you don't have to protect that loser Alice. What a waste of a pretty face. Thank you, but I'm fine, really. The swelling will go down before you know it. You are going to accept the consequences of your actions and make it up to her, right, Cinderella? Look, I already told her I'd buy her anything she wants, but she shot me down. She probably knows your heart isn't in it. Well, what am I supposed to do then? You should probably ask her that question. Well, what would you like me to do? Spurred on by his brothers, Cinderella looked at me intently. You don't have to do anything. Sure, I don't have to, but I need to do something or else my conscience will kill me. In that case... I can't really think of anything at the moment. Can we just say you owe me one and call it a day? Oh, great. Not another trump card. He slumped his shoulders and I giggled. Cutie. Suck it up, Buttercup. I love her. She said my favorite thing. Suck it up, Buttercup. I love this. This is good. This is good. I need the full thing. This is good. Later, after things had settled down, I was in the kitchen making dinner. What's on the menu for dinner tonight? Butterfried fish. Are you a person? No, you wish. Weird song, but okay. What the? How long have you been standing there? I whirled around to find Cinderella leaning against the doorframe, watching me. How adorably cute. She's just acting like an asshole, and he's like, charmed by my assholishness. This is what I need in my life. I need a man that's just going to stand there while I'm being just a fucking dumbass and just be like totally charmed by my dumbassery. And just be like, you're cute when you're fucking weird. And Denho, Ohio. Kill me now. How will anyone take me seriously now that you've heard me making up silly dinner time songs? Next time, say something when you walk in. And you're just starting on dinner, right? Yep, tonight we're having a butterfried fish. I heard you. Allow me to peel these. He walked up beside me and pointed at the taro roots I was planning to use in the sauté. You'll help me? Sure, why not? Thank you so much. I can hardly believe it. Do you cook often? Not often, but I know my way around the kitchen. Like, that's a stove, that's a cabinet, that's a sink. And you're like, no, that's the refrigerator, that's the stove. Those are cabinets. God. I'm just kidding. He picked up a chef's knife and began to peel the taro with a practiced hand. Whoa, you're so good at it. And you have such great hands, too. Your fingers are so long and slender. They're average. And now quit fussing over me and go back to whatever you were doing. Well, all right then. Splishy splashy, fishy fish. Where far out there, Mr. Fish? I thought you were too embarrassed to sing in front of me. Well, I was, but now that you found out, I got nothing left to lose. Oh, but please don't tell anyone I like to sing when I do chores, okay? Whoops. I totally just clicked on my, like, little post-it note things. You see all my little notes for, like, when I... See, that's what I hate about this. If I clicked off, it'd be fine, but this doesn't. If you click anywhere else, like, and the things are behind it. Oh, my God. Anyway. Well, I was, but now that you found out, I got nothing left to lose. Oh, but please don't tell anyone I like to sing when I do chores, okay? Right. Anyone ever tell you you're an odd duck? Oh, I know what this is. I've triggered your event flag. You've fallen for my charms, haven't you? Her sass reminds me a lot of the sass from, well, Spacey when we played yeah, that game. The birdie game. Why can't I think of the name of it? Oh my God. You know the one I'm talking about if you watched it. You know, where we Hatful Boyfriend. It just reminds me of her kind of, like, her goofy little sassiness on that. I kind of like it. Like, I know it probably seems weird. Some people are like, oh my God, this game is too much like this, or this game's like that. I kind of like that because it reminds me of other games you played. And you're like, oh, I get a fuzzy feeling because you have warm feelings about that game. And then you're like, aw. Unless one of these guys is like a Toma, then I'm not going to have warm feelings. But other than that, I will. Anyway. You think odd is a compliment? It's another way of saying I'm unique, isn't it? In contrast with my high spirits, Cinderella was decidedly unenthused. I had a feeling I knew what had motivated him to help me with dinner, but I didn't mind. I was just happy he offered to help at all. Our conversation petered out, and for a while we simply continued our work in silence until... So, why did you shield me anyway? His tone was quiet. He was, of course, referring to the incident with the older woman. Why, you ask? Do I need a reason? I glanced at him out of the corner of my eye. He seemed focused on peeling those taro roots. Most people would find it weird, don't you think? After all, you were just some random observer on the wayside. I wasn't a random observer. I'm your employee and you're my boss. And she was a guest here. So? Oh, so what? Why step in? Whose best interests were you thinking of when you shielded Cinderella? Cinderella's, the woman's, neither. I would have said more both, right? Because, or were we thinking of the cafe's best interest? I mean, I guess neither is probably a better answer because, I mean, yeah, I think we were thinking of Cinderella like his best, like, hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. Slapping him is wrong even though he hurt you because they were both in the wrong. They were both assholes to each other. Like, she was just using him for his money and shit. You know what I mean? He was just using her because he just thinks everybody uses him, so he treats people like shit. You know? So, they were both really wrong. Slapping him because you're mad that he stood you up. He probably didn't even mean to. He was like, oh, I was really fucking wasted. I didn't mean to do that, but also I don't care. So he's kind of a dick, but she's also a dick. And then, like, so they're both in the wrong, but they're both probably better people underneath it. So I don't think we were really standing up for one or the other. I'm not really sure where neither gets us, but I would have said it would have been more like a little bit of both or neither as opposed to one over the other. You know what I mean? I wasn't doing it for any one person in particular. My body just sort of moved on autopilot. I guess I just couldn't bear to sit idly by any longer. She was serious about you, you know? I stared down at my hands. Was she, though? She was kind of interested in his money. What? Like hell she was. His tone was incredulous. Evidently he was completely clueless. Are you sure about that? I got the sense that she really wanted your affection. Yeah, okay. But why? Because she actually liked him? Or because she was impressed by his money and his stature? She doesn't know him well enough. Like, we're trying to find the goodness in him, but we still like, you are such an ass. But we already know we're supposed to marry him. So we're here trying to find out what kind of person he is. He pays attention to her. But the thing is, when you really don't know anyone and someone like Cinderella comes up to you and is just rolling in money and you know about his money, that's the thing that's intriguing you at first. Is the money or the fact that he's handsome. It's all the outside kind of things. Oh, yeah, he's good looking and has money, but if he's a complete and utter douche weasel, you're going to get mad at him for being a douche weasel? You should be mad at, you're really mad at yourself because you fell for a douche weasel when you knew it was all about looks and money. Because if you weren't judging him based on that, you'd have been like, oh, okay, here's this person. All right, let's see what he's like. And then you would be like, yeah, sure, I kind of want him to like me. And then he doesn't show up, and then you'd be like, well, that shows me what kind of a person he is, and I'm disappointed, but fuck it, I'm moving on. You know what I mean? But it's not like he let her on for months or years, you know, and then she found out what a shady son of a bitch he was. You kind of knew he was a womanizing playboy douche beforehand. But you were intrigued by his status and money. So, like, she is a little bit at fault here. You know, he's still an asshole. But, like, sometimes you gotta pull back and be like, was she really trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, or was she really interested in his money? I don't know. Maybe she wanted to look past the money and be like, I was really hoping he'd be a nice guy, but he wasn't. I don't know, but... She was just after my money. And that's what she gets for taking me seriously when I said I'd give her my ring in exchange for a night together. But she didn't take your ring. And maybe her final shred of dignity got in the way. At this, I stopped what I was doing and turned to face him. I mean, he has a point. You can't lie. Like, she was going to have sex with me for a ring. I mean, that doesn't look good on the surface. We don't really know what her motivations were, but it doesn't look good on the surface. But maybe she was like, oh, yeah, sure, okay. She was just complimenting his ring. He's like, I'll give it to you if you spend the night with me. And maybe she would have spent the night with him and not taken the ring. You know what I mean? But, like, she should think better of herself than giving herself to a man for a ring, is all I'm saying. And obviously she did at the end here. But, like, in that moment, she didn't really look really good, and I can understand why he thinks badly of her, because it doesn't look good. You know what I'm saying? And we're, like, defending it, like, no, she really wanted your... You know what, on the surface, it looks kind of... But we have faith in everyone. And is she, like, just a whore? No. She seemed actually like she had some self-respect, but she was doing a hoary thing. Look, you can have a lot of self-respect and still do stupid shit. That's all I'm saying. Anyway. If you honestly believe that, then I feel sorry for her. She's the one you ought to apologize to, not me. In fact, I don't care about you making it up to me anymore. Go apologize to her right now. Before I knew it, I was shouting. What? Literally right now? Yes, literally. I can finish prepping dinner by myself. And if you don't go see her right now, I'm not letting you have any. Again, this is kind of stupid. Well, I mean, he was kind of actually treating her like shit. I don't know. I mean, I think they're both in the wrong, and I think it's kind of wrong for us to be blaming him 100% for this, but I don't know. I think they're both kind of in the wrong. We should be like, you were both being assholes, so let's just forget this. Oh, come on. Cinderella stared blankly back at me, but we're trying to make him be a better person so I can see why this is happening. And then finally, fine, I'll apologize, okay? Whatever makes you happy. With that, he set down his half-peeled taro and left the kitchen. He is doing all these things to make us happy. He loves us. That's the spirit! Safe travels out there! Oh, wait. Where's Cinderella? As soon as Gretel walked into the kitchen, he stopped short. He said he was going to step out for a bit. I see. He sounded entirely uninterested. Instead, he walked to the dinner table and took a seat. Though Cinderella claimed he was only going out for a bit. That was over an hour ago, and he still hadn't returned. Obviously, I knew they would need some time to talk it all out, but I was starting to get worried. Mostly because they were both so short-tempered. They're probably fucking and they're going to get married. He's going to be like, I apologize to her, now we're getting married. And I'm going to be like, fuck. You eat without me, Gretel. I got somewhere I need to be. As soon as I served him his portion, I flung off my apron and dashed outside. Where'd you go, Cinderella? I looked all around, but I didn't see him anywhere. Yeah, what are you going to do? You don't know where she lives. I exhaled into my hands and rubbed them together. Our town was a summer resort town after all. Even in early winter, the nights were always freezing cold. I knew I could just go back to the cafe, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. Instead, I waited out front for Cinderella. This is so strange. Just a short while ago, I had no idea who Cinderella even was, and now I was fretting over him like a mother hen. The sudden change of heart felt a little intense, but not in a bad way, per se. Alice? Oh, that was him. Alice? I thought it was me. I got confused. I keep getting confused as to who's Cinderella here. The sudden voice snapped me back to my senses. Oh, welcome back, Cinderella. Caught off guard, my voice went up an octave. What are you doing out here? Were you waiting for me? Sono tori. Precisely. Not that I could admit it, of course. So instead, I just smiled vaguely. No, of course not. I was just taking out the trash. I didn't want him to think I was some kind of creepy weirdo after all. Anyway, dinner's ready. Gretel might have finished eating by now, but I'll eat with you. I turned on my heel. Sure. All of a sudden, he grabbed my hand. What is it? Startled, I turned back to find him staring at me, his expression dead serious. You're cold. I just have poor circulation, that's all. Liar. Fess up. Apparently, he had seen right through me. I was worried. I tilted my head in a show of uncertainty. Then just say so. Don't beat around the damn bush. Anyway, I apologized. Good. I want to know what we talked about. I can't pretend I'm not curious, but I know it's none of my business. I'd say it's totally your business, considering you're the one who told me to go apologize in the first place. Unless you're the one who got slapped. I averted my gaze awkwardly. She was in love with me, and I realized we should get married. So, okay. Now we weren't being an asshole. She was, willing to sleep with him because she loved him. She was gonna, though, sleep with him for money because she loved him. That's not the way to get to a man, girl. Have some more self-respect. I'm kind of glad that he was an asshole to her. She knows she deserves better now. That's all I'm saying. And she told me that she was in love with me. Past tense. Did she? Yeah. He closed his eyes. His usual tough guy facade was gone. Chin up, Cinderella. You're a good-looking guy. I'm sure tons of people fall for you at first sight. I smiled and squeezed his hand. I couldn't imagine what she must have said to him, but at least I was here to cheer him up. Right. Everyone can see I'm exceedingly handsome. There you go. That's the Cinderella we all know and love. Let's go inside. I'll make you some nice hot soup. 1 hour earlier. You came to apologize? You of all people? Yeah, well, here I am. What? That's hilarious. I'll bet she put you up to this, didn't she? It's so obvious. I shouldn't have bothered. Hold it. What do you want? You said you were going to apologize, right? So do it. I'm sorry I lied to you that night. I messed up. Right. Anyway, there you have it. I'll be going now. Honestly, I feel even worse now. What? She's frighteningly sharp, I'll give you that. Did she do it to be nice, or is this her revenge for me slapping her? Either way, her sheer potential is terrifying. You look confused, so let me clue you in. I was in love with you, you idiot. You were. Obviously. God, you're so dense. Why else would I barge into your cafe and wait around for you for hours? Well, I thought you wanted money. I admit, I do like money, and I think given the choice between two men who were identical in every other way, most people would choose the wealthy one. But sometimes that part doesn't matter. Sometimes people just fall in love anyway. Trust me, I would know. I have plenty of rich friends, but after talking with you, you were the one I liked most. Why, though? He always comes off kind of like a cocky douchebag. I don't understand. I feel like her motivation is literally just because he's hot. That's all I'm saying. At least she admits she's into money. Because, I mean, she ain't wrong, though. Like, everything about you is similar. But one of you, I gotta ride the struggle bus, and the other one, I can have a comfy life. We're gonna choose the comfy life. Now, super douchebag McFuckwad on the comfy bus, on the comfy ride, and like super nice, sweet, perfect, wonderful little muffin on the struggle bus, we're going on the struggle bus. That's all I'm saying, right? But if they're personal, oh my God, they're both wonderful, sweet little muffins. Like, you gonna go in the comfy life. Granted, unless like the struggle bus for some people could be like, oh, you like live out in the country and you make your own bread and like you have chickens and you live on a farm and you're like eco-friendly and maybe that's your shit. And like somebody else is like, I have this giant fucking mansion with like 72 bedrooms and you're like, that's too much shit. There's a limit. Everybody is like, yeah, no. Everybody's level of comfort is different. Like for me, like we're gonna live out on a farm in a tiny little shed in the woods. I'd be like, that's a struggle bus. I couldn't do that. I'm not that naturey. Okay? Like, we're going camping. By camping, do you mean we're going to a really nice hotel in the Bahamas? Or like we are sleeping in a tent in the woods? Because tent in the woods, I'm a pass on that. But like hotel in the Bahamas, I'm down for that kind of camping. Like glamping. Like, which isn't really camping at all. But you know what I'm saying? So like everybody's different. But you're not going to willingly choose to go on the struggle bus if you don't have to. Like nobody would be like, I want to be like broke. That sounds awesome. No. Maybe in The Sims, but like not in real life, bitch. So I can't really blame. So that her statement is 100% true. But I just feel like though with her, I know what they're doing. They're setting her up like we have to show that someone was in love with. Like this is the drama part, right? But like really, all your friends must be complete raging cockweasels if you thought Cinderella seemed like the nice one. Because I mean, we know he is a better, like he's better, but most people kind of dislike him. Except for us. So, like, I find it hard to believe that she saw the good in him. So she must know some fucking shady-ass assholes, is all I'm saying. For her to be like, you were so nice to me. Was he, though? I mean, I guess because he thought he was getting something out of it, so maybe. It just seems a little weird, that's all I'm saying. Anyway. But not only were you completely oblivious to my feelings, you broke my heart. And now you're here to apologize. Not because you want to. Not because some other woman told you to. I've never been more insulted in my life. I'm sorry. Ugh, enough already. To be fair, I can't pretend your wealth didn't influence my feelings for you at least a tiny bit. Okay, there we go. Getting the real. My God, am I furious. I swear, she did this on purpose, knowing it would offend me. And no, I'm pretty sure she felt sorry for you. You really need me to spell it out for you, don't you? Huh? Fine, whatever. I'll just tell you. She did not send you out here out of sympathy for me. She wanted you to see that people care about you. The real you, not just your money. She wanted you to realize that you have worth. All right, I'm going to take back every bad thing I said about this woman. Like, girl, she's smart as shit. This woman's smart. We need to be besties. I'm going to be besties with woman. Woman! Calling up my friend Woman. Her name is Woman, and Woman is she fierce. Woman is fierce. I wish she had a name. Anyway. Really? Yes, really. She did it because she knew it was what you needed. She did it for me. 100% for you. I was just a stepping stone to that end. Honestly, I'm so angry I could scream. Not only that, but now she's made it clear you have no interest in me. I swear, if I'd known what a brain-dead moron you were, I never would have fallen for the likes of you. Well, but now you're angry at how much you are mad at yourself for loving him, so now you're going to move on. It'll be good for you. This is good. This is good. Anger is like, first you're like, I'm so heartbroken, and then you get angry, and then you get over it. Anger is the stepping stone to being okay and moving on. So she's in a good place. Right. Of course. And that said, there are women out there with the patience to love even the dumbest of men. Don't ever let her go, you hear me? Oh, what's the matter? You've been zoning out for a while now. And then he's going to be like, I think we should be together. And you're like, oh, no. This is why Kaguya isn't here, because we loved him so much. I was like, why? We don't even get to go to... But you do love Cinderella, don't you? He's kind of like a cocky little bastard, but you kind of love him anyway. I've loved him anyway. I think all of the boys are going to have their downfalls. Like, they're not going to be perfect, but you're still going to love him anyway. And they're all precious. I really enjoy this game. I'm really glad I bought it. This has been a great day. All through dinner, Cinderella had been eerily quiet. He turned and looked into my eyes. Are you, like, secretly evil by chance? What? It was such a random question, I couldn't help but stare back in confusion. Where did that come from? Oh God, are you delirious from a fever or something? Now that I thought about it, Cinderella had been walking around outside without a coat on. Perhaps he'd come down with something. If not that, then have I been causing problems for you without realizing it? No, it's none of those. I was just wondering, that's all. You were just casually wondering if I was secretly evil? Yeah. Okay, now I'm really starting to think I've been causing problems. I reached out to check his temperature, but he swatted my hand away. I take back what I said, so just forget it. Please. Okay, done. He sighed wearily. About the trump card. What trump card? I tilted my head innocently. You know, the debt for her slapping you. Oh, right. I don't really need... Starting tomorrow, I'll work at the cafe with the rest of you. And that'll make us even. You mean it? I mean, everyone else will be happy. I know your type. I'm not going to let you blackmail me into anything else. Got it? And besides, I didn't really help much with dinner. I see. So that's why you randomly offered to help me with dinner. To repay your debt to me. I cackled mischievously. I already knew this, of course, but it was still nice to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Ugh. I'm sure your brothers will be ecstatic. As for me, I can't wait to rub elbows with you. We've only gotten one CG in this whole game. It's interesting. The next day. Look, he's wearing his finery. He's so dapper. This is what he was wearing in the opening CG, and I was like the opening scene, and I was like, wait, what was he wearing? Like now he's wearing like the thing around his ass. Like, what the hell's going on here? I was like, you get really drunk at that party? Like, welcome. Please have a seat, and then just let me know once you're ready to order. Sure enough, Cinderella showed up to work just like he said he would. My brother's actually working. And he said, Please. And he's smiling. It's so fake I want to barf. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, the peanut gallery was in full force. What? Really? I think it's charming. I was busy prepping an order, and yet for some reason I couldn't stop smirking. What did you say to him? About what? Don't play dumb with me. I know you and my brother had some sort of conversation last night. Oh, right, that. I clapped my hands together in a show of understanding. I didn't say anything particularly noteworthy, just that I wanted him to put in effort with the rest of us. I had a feeling you wouldn't give me an honest answer, and it seems I was right. I didn't do anything special, honest. I mean, unless you call a blowjob special. I'm just kidding. Look, she didn't even have to. She didn't even have to have sex with him to get him to do something. I mean, I'm just saying. It's because he wants the sex, so he's going to do whatever, and she's going to be like, ha 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 ha, no. What you doing? You stretching? I know, there's no lights on in the house. It's getting dark. I'll turn them on after we're done here. I'm going to pet you. You like go poopies? You've been with me for a little too long. Oh, no, you're still sitting with me? That's what I thought. I know it's dark. I'm sorry. Good birdie. I knew it. You get all fidgety when you've been... Ah! What? No! Shit! What just happened? Crap! And there's no back thing. I clicked accidentally. All right, anyway. I missed that. I clicked the control button. Oh. Fuck. Hold on. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna see if I can get that back to where we were. Hold on. Okay, I think this is where we were. I think I only missed one thing. I clicked once by accident, so we missed him saying something. So anyway, he had said that I had a feeling you wouldn't give me an honest answer, and it seems I was right. Okay, and this is where okay, we did read this. I didn't do anything special, honest. Okay, this is what we missed. I skipped this and the next line after it, so here we go. Hey, you say that, but so far you've been the inspiration for the majority of his recent antics. I have? Okay, that's what we missed. There you go. Hey, and now slacking off. If you're gonna make me, the great Cinderella, do actual work, then you need to pull your weight. Heads up, Alice. Table 3 wants an espresso and a salami sandwich. He whacked me with empty tray in his hands. Okay, now don't forget to smile, Cinderella. Smile. I used my index finger to turn up the corners of my lips. Yeah. But this makes us even. Got that? Of course. Cinderella went back out into the dining area, and I hurried after him. I feel like I understand what sparked this change of heart, but at the same time, I really, really don't. Well, whatever. It's great to see someone finally putting him in his place, so maybe I'll play along with this little game for a while. I couldn't agree more, Gretel. That night, I made Cinderella a cup of coffee to help keep his energy levels up. You did some great work out there today. Thanks. He took a sip of coffee and looked down at the ledger on the counter. We keep getting more and more customers these days, don't we? Yeah, though I admit in the beginning it was just me buying them off like an idiot. Well, you won't have to do that anymore. They'll come in for the great food and drinks. I thought back over the past few days and giggled. I think again. I keep underestimating them and they'll start going elsewhere. See, people love new stuff, and they'll come here until the novelty wears off, and then once a new store opens, they'll go to that one. I guess we still don't hold a candle to our competition, huh? Deep down, I was burning with ambition to turn this place into the next Stardust or Dunkin' Donuts. Stardust and Dunkin', like Stardust supposed to be Starbucks, I get it, but the Dunkin' Donuts is what really throws me for a loop. We'll surpass them, I guarantee it. And then again, I'd rather we didn't get any more slam than we already are. He stretched his arms wide, groaning in exhaustion. I wiggled my fingers at him, silently offering to give him a massage, but instead he stared at me intently. What? Is there something on my face? I continued to wiggle my fingers hopefully. Look, aren't you tired of this? Of what? In the morning you cook, clean, do laundry, and set up shop. And then at night you make dinner and get the store ready for tomorrow. I figured surely you'd overlook something sooner or later, but no. The whole building's cleaner than it's ever been. Don't you ever get burned out from working so hard every day without stopping? Are you worried about me? I widened my eyes in an exaggerated display of surprise. I'm asking you a serious question. Normally he'd always take the bait, but not this time. No, I'm not tired. I lowered my hands back to my sides. I mean, it's by no means easy, and sometimes I struggle, but I'm having a ton of fun. Honestly, I've never felt so fulfilled in all my life. If you think work is fun, then I can't imagine what your life was like before. I smiled. Maybe I'm just used to it by now since I've been cooking and cleaning for most of my life. A classic poverty mentality. Perhaps. But to be fair, I haven't worked here all that long. And honestly, every day is so hectic that I don't really have time to feel tired, you know? Right. Cinderella looked away and started to mess around with the items on the table. I mean, all I'm really doing is making drinks and adding ingredients to some bread we ordered from the bakery. So you're doing the bare minimum, you say? Exactly. I nodded, smiling brightly. At least you're honest. He snorted at me. Plus, I've got Gretel and Snow White helping me. Yeah, I guess they contribute. And you too. He froze perfectly still as if time itself had stopped. You always run yourself ragged late into the night, and I appreciate that. I made sure to express my gratitude for all his efforts. Because I knew the truth. I knew he'd been pulling strings with his connections to keep the cafe busy. And each night after he came home, he would carefully check the stock to see if we were running low on anything, then quietly replace it a few days later. Though his younger brothers only ever saw him as a lazy jerk, deep down I knew he was a hard worker with a heart of gold. I just feel like it for now. I'll get bored eventually. His gaze dropped to his hands as he spoke. Do you see that happening anytime soon? Well, I'm planning to sell this place off eventually. That would defeat the purpose of everything we're trying to achieve. It sure would. Once again, he refused to look me in the eye. Well, even if we're only doing it on a temporary whim, that doesn't mean we should slack off. Besides, as I said, I'm having a lot of fun right now. That in itself is what motivates me to keep going. You're annoyingly optimistic, aren't you? Yep, life's more fun that way, you know. At this, he finally turned to look at me. Yeah, I can't argue with you there. His soft smile made my heart skip a beat. Reflexively, I looked down, hoping to hide my pink cheeks. Oh, wow. When I did, I caught sight of the thing Cinderella had been messing around with. It was a little glass figurine. It's so pretty. You think so? He held it up between his fingers, staring at it. Yes, definitely. Did you buy it from somewhere? Come to think of it, the display window we'd seen on our date together had a little glass figurines too. He'd shown me that same soft smile back then. The memory made my body flush even hotter. Something like that. Say, what do you think it looks like? Huh? Oblivious to the delicate inner workings of my heart, Cinderella turned the conversation to me. I peered down carefully at the object in his palm. It had what appeared to be a small head and a big round body. Some sort of animal. But what's that weird pointy bump on its face? A round body and a pointy bump on its face. What do I think it is? Well, he had a mouse one. I wouldn't think it's a rabbit. Cat or a bird? You know me. I'm a bird lady and I want to choose bird, but I feel like that's totally not right. It's never bird. It's never actually bird. I know, it's not burb. I'm sorry. You look offended. Bird is like, excuse me, it's a bird. I don't think so. I think that might not be the right answer because it's a burb. But I want to say burb because everything's a burb. Everything's a burb! But I feel like in all of these games, cats. Especially because then that'll just, I wonder if that would trigger him getting angry about the cat from the wizard. So I kind of want to see if that triggers anything. I don't know. I'm going to go with cat. I want to go with burb. I do, because that's me. but I doubt it's the right answer. It's never the right answer. I've got it. That bump must be an ear. Which means, is it a cat? Oh, wrong. Swing and a miss. Oh, what is it then? Not telling. Oh, come on. I clasped my hands together. How was I supposed to guess without any hints? Then after a pause, hey, you can have it. He took my hand and set the figurine on my palm. Huh? I hadn't been expecting that. I blinked. Was this a gift? Do you accept the gift? I feel like in this case, normally we'd be like, I feel like we should, because he's actually giving it to us. I feel like because he wants to. I think we should say yes on this one. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. It's just worthless junk, you know. Thank you so much. I'll treasure it for as long as I live. I gingerly cradled the little glass ornament to my chest. I now need to exaggerate. He smirked. I mean it. Is that really all it takes to make you happy? You're a cheap date. I'm not cheap. I'm economical. The same difference. I was so tickled I couldn't stop smiling. Best date ever. But this joy was fleeting, for that was the moment I suddenly remembered. Cinderella? Oh, what's up? I swallowed the words on the tip of my tongue and smiled instead. Never mind. It's nothing. Oddball. This was a temporary whim. And not just the cafe either. My whole life here was tenuous at best. And if he found out I was his prospective fiancé, it would be over in an instant. Maybe not. I should have just said it. I collapsed onto my bed and buried my face in my pillow. Every day was hectic, yet fulfilling. I enjoyed interacting with the customers and working with Cinderella and his brothers. But at the same time, I knew it was all built on a web of lies, and like a house of cards, it would all come tumbling down at any moment. I'd only need to say 4 words. I'm actually your fiancé. I knew it wasn't nice to lie to him, but at the same time, I knew being honest would result in someone getting hurt. The second I revealed my true identity, our existing relationship would fall apart. I stood nothing to gain from it. He'd either be shocked or annoyed or angry, or he'd straight up hate my guts. Everything was teetering precariously on the edge. One wrong move and it would shatter, just like the glass figurine. I feel like something's about to happen. I held the little ornament in my hands. No matter whether I chose to tell him or not, with the way things stood now, he was never going to fall in love with me. But now she wants him to fall in love with her. Anyway, I am going to wrap this part up here, because we are at about 58 minutes, I'm guessing, because I had to stop just to rewind back to where we were. So yeah, anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.